Now, Stompers came from a company named Shaper in the 1980s. If anybody remembers, these trucks are really cool because these foam tires could get killer traction. These trucks were battery operated. They had a 1 AA battery that powered both front and rear wheels and had one little light on the inside mounted behind the grill, and you could actually see the headlights come on. Now, when I was a little kid, I'm thinking around 4, 5 years old, I had the track, I had a bunch of the trucks. I just don't know whatever happened to them over the years. I have no idea. And I wish this video was about these Stompers, because these are the bad boy battery powered highly collectible Stompers. Now, one of these days, after I'm done racing and spending money on that, I will eventually complete the Stomper collection, which, as you're seeing by my 3 here, I've got a lot to go. However, something else that might have been forgotten by Stomper fans was the McDonald's Stompers that they gave away in Happy Meals. I don't know when. Information on these seems to be a little sketchy to find, but I'm guessing around 85, 86, because they were still licensed under Shaper at that time. And I don't see any vehicles there that are any newer than, well, maybe the Blazers, and I'd say those were probably dated around 88. So I'm going to make a stretch and say between 86 and 88. If anybody out there has information on them, feel free to comment in the section below. And we'll get to reviewing these. Now, the beautiful part about it was these were modeled from the actual Stompers, being the real ones here, being the battery operated ones. These came with the Happy Meals, and of course they've cheaped out. They're not battery operated, they're just freewheeling. But they carry a lot of the same dimensions. They carry the same tires, the same stance as the Stompers. But instead of the Stompers, where the early ones didn't have a freewheeling motion, as you can see, the wheels don't roll on that. The later ones did have a freewheeling button on the bottom, but once you put it into forward or reverse, of course the wheels wouldn't roll unless it was turned on. Cool part about this one is my son visited me. I had my kids down from Ohio, and he went to a flea market that we were working selling stuff, and he went to the toy vendor, found this sucker, and bought it for me with his own money. How awesome is that? Thank you, Luke. These, of course, were not battery operated, and it's tough working the camera because I've got a broken hand. Did that driving a race car. The video is also on the channel here. But these were freewheeling. Of course, no place to put a battery in them. Just one big rivet here to keep them, the body attached to the chassis of them. Now, like I started to say before, the cool part about Stompers was they were all modeled after actual vehicles. The one on the left would be a Blazer, the one in the middle I believe is a Toyota, the one on the end being a C10 Chevy stepside. They had Ford, Dodge, Jeep. I mean, it just really ranged, as did the McDonald's toys, which were kind of surprising. Now, going through these, I think I've got most of the paint schemes. I've seen a couple of other different paint schemes for the van that I don't have. But going through these were modeled after a Dodge Rampage, and the detail in them is really more than you'll find in any other cheesy toy of today. And of course, you know, they're all 4x4'd out, you know, they're all raised up. They all typically have the extra lighting up above. And the paint on these didn't last very well either. You know, usually a kid with oily fingers from a French fries or something would touch this paint, and this paint would actually just fade right off. Finding them in this kind of condition is kind of rare, actually. I've actually painted the taillights on that when I was a kid. I've had these for a long time. I don't remember if I actually got them out of a Happy Meal, because my mother never bought me Happy Meals, so who knows? Not sure where they came up. where I got them. Moving on, again, same car, different paint scheme. Would be an AMC Eagle, which an AMC Eagle with 500 horsepower, like it suggests on the side, is pretty crazy. The tires on these also didn't come with the raised letters painted. That's something else I did with a model kit. Moving on, you've got the Toyota Tercel wagons, which I don't believe ever came in four-wheel drive. I mean, I might be wrong on that, but I don't believe ever did. I've had to scrap a few of those, and they're really chintzy. So why they decided a Toyota Tercel, I don't know. Maybe it's because they had licensing from Toyota already. And those were the two paint schemes for that one. And that seems to be the trick too, is when you're doing collecting the different paint schemes, there seems to be two on each one. But like I said, I couldn't find a whole lot of information online about them. There might be more for one particular model. These actually have a lot of heavy playwear because when I was a kid, I ran a race series with all these guys, since they were all the same. This would be the Chevy Blazer. Even says Blazer on the side. And it's really cool too because they've all got this springed suspension, kind of like the cars from Majorette had. Now just the ones that I have, I don't have twins for. You got the Chevy Vandura, or I guess that'd be the GMC Vandura. The Chevy was what, a Beauville 4x4 van, almost reminiscent of the A-Team. As a matter of fact, I probably wouldn't be surprised if the other paint scheme was all black with the red stripe to kind of go along the lines of the A-Team. You've got the Ford Ranger, which I think they did quite well. This one, I guess, is worth the most money out of all of them because it's red number 23, and there's some kind of connection with the basketball player Jordan. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Yeah, because it's got the same coloring and the same numbers and everything, I guess you know, some of the people that are also into trucks collect these because of Michael Jordan. Jeez, I can't believe I can't remember that. Tells you how much I follow sports. And then last but not least, a Cj7 Jeep. The Jeeps were probably by far the most popular bodies to put on the Stompers.